to that. He's
I'd rather have Jason Witten do it.
He's very on the surface about things that we already kind of know. Like
when Justin Fields was picked. Now here's the question though: is he going to be ready? That's the big question. Is he going to be ready? I'm like, okay. I mean, why'd you draft him? What is a stupid thing to say?
Sure.
Dumb thing to say.
A lot of people are saying that people who are going to select Justin Fields, though, were going to just stash him for a year.
No, probably not.
Especially if it was the Patriots or who was the other one?
He went to Chicago.
No, I know that, but
he's ready.
But
he's ready to go.
They were that's what they were saying, and maybe Booger was kind of stuck on that. I don't know. A lot. The production for ESPN and Monday Night Football has kind of gone downhill since
NFL Network came around.
What's his name?
Skip Bayless?
Not Dennis.
Dennis Miller?
Yeah, Dennis Miller, since he left. But I liked Tirico a lot when he was on there.
Oh, I loved what's his name? John Gruden, man.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
I need to bust out with I need to find an jar.
We're not doing movie review. We're doing ESPN commentators now.
Why you should like Tony Romo.
He's fantastic. He's like one of us talking about the game, but in a very intellectual
Super Bowl
way. Charzar81.
That is my name.
That name again is Mr. Plow.
Do some little sound testing a little bit. I finally installed the air horn.
Oh, we're live? Holy crap.
Yeah, we've been live, sir.
Oh, shoot.
So all your little inputs about Booger McFarland.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, he's a great guy. LSU. The Colts, right? He won with the Colts, right?
Yeah.
He won with Peyton, didn't he?
He won with the Colts. He won with the
at
Bucks.
That background. Mm-hmm. Holy crap, that's awesome.
You like that?
Yeah, you got Cabal in there.
Mm-hmm.
Cabal in.
I have to look at that for a second. Yeah, no, I have to look at that for a second because I wanted to compare it to my quiz. And okay, good.
Oh man, it better not be like Mortal Kombat games because
no. This is all movie. This is all from the movie.
From the movie.
This is all from Mortal Kombat 2021.
Oh man, yeah.
You said you've seen it 10 times.
I have, but the thing is,
so there's some easy questions
and
there's some
watching.
Sure. Well, you know what? After about 10 times, you should have been able to put it all together. You know.
Right now, at this particular time.
No, it's not going to be that. You know, I'm not going to ask.
No, that's Adam
color.
Shefty. That's Shefty.
Yeah, there you go.
Right now, at this particular time, Movie Review's Joshua Henderson is not sure if, in fact, he's ready to answer the questions. I'm losing my voice.
Is it one of those things where you like a guy initially? It's like a bell curve.
You don't like him? Shefty?
No. Well, it's you like him, and then he hits this peak, and he almost becomes like a caricature of himself. A little bit.
That's why I'm doing the impression.
It kind of lowers a little bit at the very end because again, what you initially thought that you liked about him, it's now gone way too overboard. It's kind of like Family Guy to an extent. Mm-hmm. You know, you liked it and it was just hit this crescendo, and all of a sudden it's become too much of a pun on itself. So I'm kind of scared that's kind of going the way of Rick and Morty because. Season 4 was really, really good.
You got all that from my impression from Adam Schefter?
Oh, yeah.
Schefter?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
My insights.
And then Mel Kiper Jr.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Go ahead, do it.
There's Frank Caliendo does a great job being Mel Kiper Jr. I really tried it by myself earlier when I was watching him do the draft or whatever. Tremendous arm, tremendous. He uses the word tremendous all the time. It's tremendous. 6'5", tremendous athlete. I mean, just the way he just talks is just he has
the way he
same
says
cadence.
The way he says backer
Linebacker.
Yeah, it's a huge pop.
Yeah.
He crashes the boards. He's a great quarterback.
He was talking about Aaron Rodgers, how he's maybe leaving. So they're talking about who's going to be the best in the division. So he was talking about how Justin Fields will be the best quarterback in that division.
Yeah. You know what I have to do?
And then the way he says, well, we don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to be a backer. The way he says backer.
Do you know what I need to do? I need to connect my wire. So hold on just 1 second, okay?
So you can get wired?
Yep, I'm going to get wired. I'm going to put on...
Are you subscribed to that magazine, Wired, as well? Or Weird, as Homer Simpson would say?
Weird? What? When? Weird? There's no H in there. All right, hold on just 1 second. Quip. Hold on.
Right now, at this particular time. Oh, let's see here. What are we gonna do here? Brought to you by the Movie Broview. Subscribe to Joshizzle2323. Wonder what game I should play next for streaming. Should I play Mortal Kombat? No, I can't play that in front of the kiddo. A lot of blood. A lot of blood. Fatalities. Brutality. Why is it dark? My brother's room is dark now. The darknesses. I'm all by myself. I thought stream is starting. Oh, he's got it on the oh god. Come on, dude. Son of a gun diddly. I wonder how he's gonna connect that wire. Does he have the music on? I'm gonna be so mad. Let's check. Check what's all about. Uh-oh, here we go. Hello. Oh, okay. He can hear me. You can hear me. I know what you did last summer. That's another movie with, Jennifer Love Hewitt? Yeah, that's it. I think so, right? That chick from Ghosts? Yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, here comes back the brother man from the Movie Review. And there he is with this blue hat. I'm assuming it's the Mavericks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It has to be the Mavericks.
Who would eat 30 bags of lunches?
Oh my gosh. That's such a great movie.
Everybody on good, great, wonderful. No yelling on the bus.
It's funny, like that's an Adam Sandler movie, but like in a way it's kind of also like a Chris Farley movie.
Norm Macdonald.
And Norm Macdonald movie.
Oh yeah. Hey Billy. I really wish I could do impressions really well. Man, I'm so into that stuff.
You just gotta work
Bill
on
Hader
it.
does a good job. Frank Caliendo. Jay Farrow. What's his name? Jay Farrow?
Farrell?
Jay Farrow. Yeah. Jamie Foxx does a bunch of them too. He does a Robert Downey Jr. He does a what's his name? Denzel Washington to the T. I'm like, man, that's amazing. I can do that. I can barely do Mel Kiper Jr. and Adam Schefty.
All right, bro. You ready to start this thing?
Yeah, why not?
Let's get through. I need to laugh a little bit. I need you to make me laugh a little bit today.
Micah Parsons, the 10th round. The first round, 10th overall pick to the Dallas Cowboys. Actually, no, the 12th, because we traded the 10th.
It was 12th, yeah.
To the Eagles, of all people. I don't understand that, but whatever.
Sometimes you make deals with the devil, man. All right, here
Jerry Jones?
We go. Good evening, everybody. This is the Movie Broview. I am your host, Charlie Zarzuela, with my other host, my other brother, Joshua Henderson. Joshua, how are you doing, bro?
What's up, man? How are you? Excited for the Cowboys?
You gotta be. You gotta be. Linebacker. You and your Mel Kiper impression and Adam Shefney's going along.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're terrible impressions, but I try.
Nice. We are not, well, this one here is about impressions. I do my best, but we are here about movies. We are two brothers giving you our brotherly take on the movies of today, yesterday, and tomorrow. And tonight we got our 8th episode. It's we're going to do a review on Mortal Kombat that just came out not too long ago. Gosh, it came out, last Friday? The 23rd. So, and we've literally just had this kind of boxed up because we've been doing the review for Falcon Winter Soldier, and so we wanted to give each piece their own moment in the spotlight, and that's what we're doing tonight. You ready to do this, man? You've watched it how many
absolutely. Times? It's 9.7 times.
Oh gosh,
I
that's
didn't finish
crazy.
a couple. But I was doing stuff while watching it. Okay, guys, I was, it's just one of those movies you can go back to because it's so enjoyable. But we're going to talk about why that is
For sure.
detail. But going back to Falcon and Winter Soldier, if you want to check that out, go to my YouTube channel, Joshizzle2323. The podcasts are out there, right? Charzar81. And also, type in hashtag Movie Broview. You'll find all of our Twitter feed, as well as our YouTube videos and Instagram, all that good stuff. So go check that out. Thanks.
Yes, like, subscribe, and follow us. We would appreciate every one of you guys who do that. And we appreciate the lurkers as well. My handles are at Charzar81 at Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter. And we got Joshizzle2323 at Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Yeah, give us that friendly little click. We really, really appreciate that. Yes. So, again, like I said, tonight the title is the Mortal Kombat review. That's what we have in store for today. We have the birthdays, as we do every week, and we don't really have a Who Said What segment like we normally do this week. The tables have been turned. I'm going to give my brother man a run for his money to see what he knows after watching Mortal Kombat 10 times through.
Let me watch it while we're doing this. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know, right? You're gonna quickly and surely make your way. Hold on, I gotta skip forward ahead. No, wait, I gotta review backward a little bit. And just check that out.
I'll
Remember,
watch it in 3 times speed.
did you ever back in the day? Did you ever take tests that were online and they were timed, but they were kind of open book?
Yeah, specifically computer lab.
Sure.
When we're talking about Word, PowerPoint, Excel, all that cool stuff. I'm trying to think of a time I actually took a test where it's online, it's open book. It's usually not open book.
Yeah, I remember I used to take tests where they would make it completely open book, but it would be very, very strict in the time
essence
criteria, and you were literally allotted maybe 3 to 4 minutes a question. So the idea was that you would still, study your heart out for these tests. And if you did have to reference the book, you could. However, if you tried to pull the old, trickaroony and not study and just show up to the test with a big old textbook and try to leaf your way through it, it was an exercise in futility, basically. So I didn't know if you did any of that. I did try that once. I think I remember getting a C on that test. So, I think after that I was like, okay, I can't just kind of
wing it with the open book.
Put my test studying skills on cruise control for this semester on this subject. So,
on a brief story about tests, I remember one time I wasn't driving at the time. You had taken me, I believe, to take a test to get in to our high school we went to, or it was the SAT at a earlier year in my high school years. And I remember you were listening to Linkin Park, and you said, "Do yourself a favor, don't look at the clock. You're just giving me tips on taking the test or whatever." But we listened to Linkin Park, and that's all I can freaking sing to myself the entire test. It starts with one thing. I don't know why. It doesn't mean, oh my gosh, I'm not going to freaking pass this test. So, thanks for that, by the way.
And the explosion happening to your test right now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't focused too much on the background noise. I was so focused on the words that, you know, at least I didn't have you, at least we weren't listening to like Beck's Loser or something like that.
What did I have was negativity because I can't justify the way everybody's looking at me.
See, and that way you would know the time in your head because, you know, these songs only pretty much lasted 2.5 to 3 minutes long.
2 minutes, yeah.
So, man, that's a story for going back in the Wayback Machine. That's kind of awesome.
I call that a Throwback Thursday.
I haven't thought of that in a long time. But anyway, so yeah, there was one thing that I did kind of want to go over before we made our dive into Mortal Kombat. There was a little bit of news regarding something that I don't usually look into, but I had to kind of take a peek. I had to click that stupid link, and it's, you know, they're talking about Spider-Man, and it's news from like kind of the Spider-Man 3 movie that's coming out, I think in December.
What's it called? Come Back Home?
Not Far From Home. Oh my gosh. Not Homecoming.
It starts with one thing.
No. God bless. What is that movie called?
You need to search it. An open book.
Gosh. I don't even know what it's called right now.
Oh my gosh. MCU Spider-Man 3.
There. So while you're looking that up, the story was
No Way Home.
Yeah, there you go. No Way Home. Thank you, sir. The story was they were talking about who the next big baddie was going to be in the MCU. And I don't usually read into these things because I want to be surprised. You know, like, yes, there's some something to kind of like...
I'm the opposite.
You know, opening the cover of a book and just kind of reading a couple of words and just, okay, you know, I'll read it all later. When it comes to this, though, I could not help myself. And Norman Osborn was dropped in there. And I got kind of excited for that. And I hope that excitement does not prove to be purely empty. Because you know how those things are where someone writes an article just to get the clicks nowadays. And it's based upon someone... rumors something upon another rumor, which is something upon another lie, which, you know, and you know how MCU likes to, you know, throw breadcrumbs on the path to lead us astray and stuff. So
right,
I don't know, like that kind of got me a little bit excited because there was also rumor about what's his name?
Tobey Maguire?
No, he played Norman Osborn.
Oh, John Dafoe?
I'm blanking on all names.
William
Dafoe. John Dafoe. Yes, William Dafoe. And
Jeff Conroy.
The idea that they're bringing on all these awesome baddies from past Spider-Man movies gives me a slight spider tingle, and it kind of made me a little bit happy to kind of see that, but at the same time, it made me sad to think that, nope, it's not really true. So, because
Did you find that on the web?
I did. I found it on the World Wide Web. I was entangled by it, sir.
Oh, jeez. Was it amazing or was it spectacular? We can do this all night, by the way.
It was kind of sensational. I don't know. Geez. It was kind of a web of lies that I was.
Man.
Boo. All right, I'm gonna fart my way through that. Anyway, no more puns. Let's get into the movie review tonight. Mortal Kombat. Take a swig of water first. So yeah, man, Mortal Kombat. I keep wanting to call it Mortal Kombat 3, even though I know that's not.
No,
it's a complete reboot, set in the same time period, I guess. I don't know. We kind of discussed offline how we were going to approach how we kind of dissect this movie. There are going to be spoilers, by the way, so there is your spoiler alert warning as the siren is going off like crazy. So yeah, the way that we're going to kind of unravel this movie, I don't know. Give me your thoughts on that, Josh. Do we go fight by fight? Do we go scene by scene, or do we just kind of dive in and, split everything apart, kind of like Kung Lao did with Natara?
Oof, spoiler.
Oof. I said there were spoilers. I already warned you people. Come on. Know.
Yeah, she didn't have a chance. It was just in there, my beauty, and all of a sudden, Kung Lao wins.
We'll say this.
No, we should go by the beginning of it. We got that first 7 minutes. We got that preview, right? The couple days before the movie actually came out on HBO Max on April 23rd.
Yes, sir.
We got to check that out. So we got a little sample of Scorpion, their story between Sub-Zero and Scorpion. And we see that, hey man, Scorpion had a family, it was back in the 1600s.
Hanzo and Bihan.
Yes. Right, those
Apparently.
two gentlemen. But Sub-Zero is literally cold-blooded because
cold-blooded.
I mean, he kills every motherfucker there. I'm just like, dang, man, I did not know he was like this. And it's good to see that, setting that up. But that's all you see of that guy, Scorpion. But it's funny because you only went through a quarter of it, and I was talking to you on the phone, and you had no idea, like, oh man, it's like Bryan Cranston from Godzilla. You get to know him and stuff, and then he freaking dies. I was like, yeah.
And speaking of him, yeah, that him was Han. So I was really, really bummed out that at the very beginning of the movie, again, we had watched the first 9 minutes and that little, HBO teaser opening scene release that they had made during the middle of the week to really just, whet our appetite for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah.
They knew what they were doing.
Did Sub-Zero tell him to chill?
Oh gosh.
Did he put Hanzo...
Mr. Freeze.
Wait, here's a better one. Did he put Hanzo on ice?
Yeah, or did Scorpion say, did that sting a little?
Man, the puns are going to come out hot and heavy in this one.
Oh, man, we're just going to...
Awesome.
We're going to destroy the pun.
But yeah, no, I literally thought...
Like pluralities, okay?
I literally thought that they showcased this one character. I'm watching trailers of this thing, and, like, that's the one person, the one actor I was, like, kind of clinging on. Because, honestly, when it came to the other actors, they were...
Biggest name.
He is the biggest name in this feature, and... to see that he had died 13 minutes to 15 minutes into it, I was kind of like, oh, okay, so who do I rest my laurels on now? Because initially Cole was just like, okay, so I see there's some connections here and there. I kind of get that, but I don't know. How did you feel about Cole when we were first introduced to him?
I mean, I didn't even know who he freaking was. But then I had to read somewhere else, like, oh, he's another character they created for the movie.
Sure.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, that's neat. They come up with a new thing. I mean, I don't think correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think DC or the MCU has ever done that before, with the exception of Harley Quinn in the actual animated series. I've never seen that before. I thought that was pretty cool how they did that. And he's a decent character. I mean, he's not your like, oh man, he's so cool, and he doesn't grab you. He's just that foundation of this is the guy we're gonna follow. He's your Aaron Taylor Johnson of Godzilla. He's not fabulous. He's not fantastic. He's not a huge actor. He's just a guy's story we're gonna follow. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, they have to have someone that the kind of world gravitates upon. And it's hard to pick that one character in Mortal Kombat because kind of everyone kind of, sits and stands at the same level. They did that with Liu Kang to kind of bring him as a protagonist in the 1990s movie. He was the main character. He was the one that everyone was kind of rotating around. But in this movie, it seemed like you're right. Yeah, they created a brand new character, kind of like Jack and Rose in Titanic. They kind of created these two characters in the Titanic world. Cole was created in the Mortal Kombat world. So,
right.
I kind of started to accept him as part of this world. As the story kind of came along, it seems like he was an MMA fighter that was great once upon a time, and now he was just kind of going into the twilight of his career. Yeah. And the introduction of him and Sub-Zero kind of, not the introduction, but the interaction, their first interaction together kind of came out of nowhere, don't you think?
Trying to think. I know I've seen it so many times.
Because they were at like the coffee shop, and all of a sudden things started getting cold.
Yeah.
And here's Sub-Zero. I don't know why this dude in a blue gi is trying to kill me for no apparent reason. Yada yada yada. Much less, how is he hundreds of years in the future or something like that? And because Hanzo was a long time ago. How is this dude still alive? But
can I explain my theory on that?
Sure.
It's probably been explained already. Well,
sure.
Scorpion is in hell, so there's that. He's just there forever.
The Nether Realm, sir. He is in the Nether Realm, sir.
No, he's in hell, I thought.
It's the Nether Realm.
Oh, sure, whatever. Yeah.
It is hell, but in this world, it's called the Nether Realm.
The Nether Realm. Neverland.
Get it right.
Now, get it right. And then, this is easy. Sub-Zero, he's cold. He's cold-blooded. He can freeze himself.
Why didn't you tell me? I wish you had told me that, because that would have been a drop over and over again.
I'll do it, or we'll do it. No, but it's kind of like a Winter Soldier. You just freeze him. He just freezes himself. That way he can live forever. That's what I'm guessing. I have no freaking clue. Shang Tsung probably put a sorcerer spell on him, like, hey, you can live forever. There you go.
Sure. Mortal Kombat. People live forever unless you get killed. Anyway. So, yeah, then we get the introduction of Jax, who, he's this super
military guy.
Military man. He faces off against Sub-Zero, and that's kind of where we kind of had our first big,
got his ass whooped.
I don't know, I was about to say big fight, but it really wasn't that big of a fight. It
was a one-way fight.
Hanzo and Bihan were a fight. That was a good back and forth between the two. Bihan eventually just overwhelmed Hanzo. But yeah, Sub-Zero just literally wiped the floor with Jax. We come to find out later why that is, especially in this interesting Mortal Kombat, how the systems kind of work and stuff. But yeah, what happens to him again? He
became unarmed real quick.
There it is. Yes.
Literally, because he had a shotgun. He tries to shoot him in the face.
Disarmed.
Freezes all the, he freezes the gun, shatters it, and then he unarmed him that way, and then he literally unarmed him later on they fought a little bit, but then he's trying to, manhandle him, Jax is, to Sub-Zero, and it's not working. All of a sudden, freeze arms, goodbye arms.
So yeah, before that, obvious encounter between those two, Jax had given an address to Cole. Basically, Cole, they were telling him that they were looking for these warriors to help them in this fight, and that he needed to go to this address and find a lady named Sonya Blade, which I was like, oh, well, there's Sonya Blade's drop in. We've already got, what is it, 1, 2, 3? No, 1, 2, 3. That would be the fourth and a half character. I call Cole like a half a character.
And I will say that this movie paces pretty darn well, like, because it is a shorter movie.
Yeah.
It paces right up next, now we got Sonya Blade. Here we go. Go ahead.
There are moments where it's fast, but, I don't mind that with this movie. There are other movies where I would like for some plot and some dialogue to kind of take place, to kind of, shape the world around it. This one moves at a pace where, yes, it's fast. It can be fast at times, but in the world of Mortal Kombat, where everything can go at a moment's notice and everything can get really, really hot and heavy at the drop of a hat, literally later on, I don't mind that. And I did kind of like the pacing here as well. Yeah, so they go and he meets Sonya in this ridiculous podunk junkyard looking trailer. I mean, it was really interesting when they pulled. I'm like, really? Like, I don't remember. It's hard for me to find to disconnect movies that were video games, because a lot of times I'll reflect back toward the video game a lot and just try to inquire, where did this fit into her original story? I knew that she was, special forces and stuff like that, but why is she in this place? But, we come to find out that this was like a staging ground for their operations and such, and searching for these world warriors to fight the great fight. And then we run into another person.
Kano.
One of the greatest characters in this movie. You know what? No, I'll say it. The greatest character in this movie. Kano. He, boy. I usually try to find words, but I have no words to say how awesome Kano is in this movie, brother.
He's hilarious. So pretty much, if you really look at it, and I've seen it enough to where I can tell you this, anything and everything that comes out of his mouth is freaking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing he said that's not really that funny, because everything is a question to make fun of somebody, point out something to make fun of them. It's amazing. When he curses, because I forget sometimes that this is rated R, but you get reminded super freaking quick with all the blood and cursing.
Yes.
Especially with Kano and then the blood. So
I don't know what it was. I feel the same exact way too, that they had been touting this movie like this is going to be a rated R movie, but for some reason there was nothing that like really hit me with that. Even like during the fighting scenes where Jax got his arms ripped off, I'm like, okay, I've seen that in PG-13 movies. It's just still, to me, this still feels like a PG-13 movie. Enter Kano, who literally starts busting out with the 7 words you don't say on broadcast television. Da 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 da. Thank you, George Carlin. But he totally goes to town, and he is quick-witted. He is hilarious. Where did the idea that he was Australian come from? I don't ever remember that. Is that something that I'm just completely forgetting?
He is Australian. Kano is Australian.
No, I know that, but I didn't ever remember that really being a thing until...
Well, you know why? Because the Kano in the original Mortal Kombat was terrible. You don't get to see him that much either. He gets beat out of him at the beach with Sonya, or on the sand. And that was pretty much it. Yeah, no, he went by the wayside really quickly. Although those those makeup aesthetics were kind of cool for the time that they kind of came out. But
Yeah, Kano, he's captured apparently by Sonya Blade. He is her prisoner. And Cole is kind of trying to come to terms with this ancient fight that they've been recruiting warriors for. And apparently Kano happens to be one of them.
I like the fact that Cole was talking to Sonya about it, and then Sonya finally says, it's called Mortal Kombat. Okay, you just made that last part up.
Yeah.
And it's misspelled, too.
It's misspelled right here. I mean, and to be honest, I kind of would side with Cole on that aspect of this can't be real. Like, especially for someone who grew up
Your birthmark can't
in the
be
MMA
real.
ramps.
It's perfectly a dragon, dude.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, I've got a birthmark. It looks kind of like Asia. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the Philippines.
Yeah, it might be. But, yeah, it completely comes out of left field. And we kind of get in. I'm trying to remember the order here. Don't we get... we zoom back over to Shang Tsung, right? The big baddie in this movie. He then starts talking to his warriors because they're trying to basically usurp any and all rules that are supposed to be in place for this tournament. Take all the shortcuts. Let's get it over with, and let's take this sucker over. They've won 9 tournaments in a row. They have to win 10 for Outworld
they have 9 victories. They need the 10th one to take over the Earth.
Yes. And
Earth realm, excuse me.
Yeah, the Earth realm. Well, so he sends his assassin to take care of... So he's sent to Earth to take care of the warriors, correct? Was he there to take care of Kano, like, initially?
Reptile was there to take care of Kano.
Because I thought... Well, okay, that's right. So, yeah, he was there to take care of Kano. And he kind of just shows up, like, in this weird fog, black smoke kind of thing. Just kind of comes out of nowhere. And it's really, really cool to see, like, the cloaking mechanisms that this reptile has. And...
like a chameleon.
How do you fight something like that to begin with,
So what you do is you take a knife, you take a flare, pop the flare, stab them. You'll always know.
Step 1, you take the knife. Step 2, you cut the hole in the knife.
Flare.
Dick in
That's
a box.
pretty much all you do, yeah. But, of course, who would know to do that? It was Kano.
Oh, sure.
Remember he got his face scratched up?
Yeah, he got...
like, bad?
He got a nice little... he got a nice little strawberry there, didn't he? You couldn't notice it at all, right? Like he said.
Like you said, right.
But, yeah, so there were some really, really cool combat techniques. I mean, you saw Cole throw Sonya the blade, and she was kind of spinning in midair, and she stabs Reptile right in the chest. And then Kano one-ups her by doing what?
Does the Dumb and Dumber. Actually, it's a really thing from the game, too, but he puts his fist right through his chest and takes out the heart. And they said, Kano wins. Bloody beautiful, ah.
Nice. Oh, man.
It's beautiful.
It was a gorgeous fatality, to say the least. That is definitely one of Kano's fatalities from Mortal Kombat 1.
What does he do when he's done, though? He's sitting down drinking a beer he hates that tastes like crap, or tastes like shit, in his opinion. And what is he doing? He's drawing what just happened, and it looks perfect, like a comic book.
Yeah.
A bit of an artist, yeah.
He's trying to draw a graphic novel of, like, the kill that he just committed.
Right, I thought that was funny. Anything he does is funny.
No, I mean, again, he is the comic relief, but at the same time, he does help the story move along as well. And it's just so weird to see that he is one of the Earth's greatest warriors.
Well, why? No, but why though? He was in
Yeah,
Brazil.
that's a
he
thing.
killed another guy.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's the only way to
that was a champion.
to get that moniker on you is to kill someone else. And that's basically what he says later on with Sonya, because Sonya is basically trying to find this place. He happens to know where this place of warriors meets, and that is Raiden's temple.
Right.
That's apparently where all the warriors go, and Sonya's like, you need to take us there. And so...
Oh, yeah, okay, go get a pen and paper. Write this down. Fuck off.
Yeah, I know, right? He's, like, again, F-bombs here. He reminds you that this is, like, a really, really rated R movie. But on their way to... see, again, I'm trying to weed out what's important and what's not.
His aunt or cousin owns a plane. Then they get in a plane.
Sure.
They're flying.
Sure.
And then they get off they get off parachutes and they jump and they're in the desert.
Yeah, they're in the desert. He has the GPS. Apparently, he knows where it's at. Due to
does he though? Because he kept saying it's about 20 clicks that way,
and he's like,
25,
he keeps turning
30,
the GPS tops. Like upside down and inside out, and just like, nope, not this way. So it seems like they're just kind of like wandering the desert for a while, and then a man appears above the horizon.
MC Hammer Pants. That's what he said. Remember?
No, I know it is.
He said, "Whoa, MC Hammer," because he's wearing like those baggy parachute pants.
Very true.
Or looking like that.
It is not MC Hammer though. It is Liu Kang. That's right, the Dragon Master, the wielder of the fire.
Did you just shoot me with the bloody fireball?
Yeah, he shows up, and he's actually, he's been on the search for these warriors as well. Because it seems like everyone's looking for these warriors, and they keep coming across Cole, But Liu Kang, brings them back. They decide that, okay, Kano doesn't know where he's going. We're going to follow this guy. He brings him back to this mountain, and conjures up a door. And with inside is Lord Raiden.
Mm-hmm.
He's so Lord Raiden. We've seen this actor. He played what was his name in Thor?
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, while Joshizzle2323 looks up who played Lord Raiden in Mortal Kombat. Lord Raiden, he's just checking out these people who Liu Kang brought him to. He's like, really? This is what I got to work with? We have this one chick who doesn't even have the brand on her. We have this other guy who's really not ready, even though he's got a brand on him. And we have this Aussie-looking F who, doesn't know his a-hole from a hole in the ground. So, like, really? This is all I have right now that you've conjured up for me. What's his name?
I think this is the actor's name.
Okay.
Tadanobu Asano.
Okay. What was his name in Thor?
I'm trying to figure out what this freaking name is from the movie. Yeah, that's his real name is Tadanobu Asano. I'm trying to freaking figure out what's his name in Thor, though. Thor. Hogan. That's his name? Hogan?
Yes.
Wow. Hogun.
Yes.
Hogan.
Like Shogun, but Hogan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was getting that character's name confused with the Asian guy that's in Captain America. Also, his descendant is the principal in Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, those
I was getting hit. They were like, that's the whole different.
Those are way two different actors.
But no, I thought his name was Hogan for some stupid reason.
Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lord Raiden's like, okay, we got these guys. And then we see Shang Tsung apparently try to show up. Like he's trying to cheat his way through this tournament, bringing in Sub-Zero, of course, and this feral-looking lovely lady who needs a toothbrush. Melina. Mm-hmm. She is a master ninja with her size at the ready. Well, lo and behold, the good guys, the guys of light, have their own walking stick, their war daddy by the name of Kung Lao. And I am so happy he was in this movie. That guy has been so underrepresented in, it seems like, in the video game, like all the video games. It seems like, he didn't even come into it until the second one. And, a lot of people, I don't know, I guess it just, my perception is that a lot of people just thought of him as like another side character who can, fling a sombrero or whatever. But
a hubcap.
Yeah, a hubcap basically. And, he is a lot more than that. Like, he's a descendant from the great Kung Lao, the grand champion of the Order of Light. So, he's not a nobody. He's definitely their cleanup hitter who shows up. Well, Raiden's kind of done with all this, like, okay, enough with this trying to, like, wage war against our fighters when it has nothing to do with the tournament at all. And it's so weird because, like, this entire story is about gathering these characters for the tournament. And there's not really a tournament going on.
Right.
And
it was like more like an ambush.
Yeah, I mean, it's an ambush left and right, even and not to, segue, to cut to later on, but even at the end, that wasn't really a tournament either. So I don't know. It just, that I found that really, really funny. But Raiden's like, that's enough of this. He conjures up this huge lightning shield with his staff. And, obviously Shang Tsung's like, we're going to find our way around this. Your little tricks can only last for so long, yada, yada, yada. And we see the training. Like, I don't know what it is about fight movies. This is usually one of my favorite parts of the movie, aside from the big battles and the big one-on-ones, is the training of the characters. Yeah.
Side note, so yeah. Shang Tsung, he that actor, I actually watched Independence Day Resurgence, which is the second.
Oh no.
And he is in that movie. Just want to let you know that. He wasn't just in Dark Knight. He's in other movies. Fortunately, that movie wasn't so great. I still enjoyed it because I like cheesy movies. Anyway, moving right along.
Wow. What a segue. What a side
note.
Up
Shang Tsung,
wow.
Wow.
Yeah, no, so we go to the training portion. So the idea here is that all these warriors have abilities. However, there's this secret force within them called Arcana that they have to unleash to get these extra abilities, to get these otherworldly powers, basically, that make them less of a liability and more of an asset towards the team of, wow, there's some accounting right there, towards the team of world warriors that's going to defend the Earth realm. Liu Kang found his, and his is the fire, his is the flame. You have Kung Lao, who is the master of his hubcap. I can't help to say that now. His hat, his razor hat. Obviously, you have Raiden, but he's not allowed to fight in this. Why is that?
He's a god.
He's
a god. He's there to protect
a god,
the Earth realm. A god. He is the thunder god.
Okay.
Who's there to protect
Thor?
But he can't protect everyone. He has to let everything just go as it goes, right? But he can prevent certain things with Shang Tsung because there are rules. It's no tournament.
So he's the living tribunal, basically. He can do whatever he wants, but he chooses not to. For the sake of everything.
Teleport device with that thunder. So
yeah, like I didn't know. I guess in a way, yeah, you were able to do that in the video game,
Mortal Kombat 2, you did it to me all the time.
Oh, yeah.
You teleported to the other side. And actually, that's how you beat Kentaro multiple times. You transported or teleported yourself to the other side of the screen.
And then do the Superman.
Superman. Yeah. Yeah. Kentaro.
Gosh, how do I remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he definitely has this great teleporting ability. But yeah, it sucks that he cannot fight. Like, it irks me that the one time we've seen him fight was in Annihilation.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
You had to bring it up.
You know, well, it was going to be brought up eventually. And then talking Mortal Kombat, you know.
You don't have to, though. I'm just kidding. It's fine.
I don't.
Well, sucked.
So Kung Lao is in charge of training up these men to unleash their arcana so we can get the powers and stuff. Cole apparently has something within him, like, you know, he is from a long lineage. He has been told that he is the ancestor of the great Hanzo. Oh gosh, I'm gonna butcher his last name, Hanzo Hasashi, and that, you know,
Scorpion.
Within him is this power that, you know, can make him greater and stuff like that. So, boy, he gets kind of told by Kung Lao in a really, really quick fashion. It's kind of not fair. You know, Kung Lao tells him, like, you can be talented all you want, but until you get this, you know, you are the JV, my friend.
He actually said talent can only get you so far.
Yeah, there you go. And the same with Liu Kang and Kano. You know, Kano's coming in all haughty or whatever. I still, it's so hard for me to see Kano as one of these grand champions, but, you know, if you kill a grand champion, or if you kill a wielder of one of these monikers, basically, you get that moniker. And he kind of calls out Sonya a little bit earlier in the film where he's like, you know, you want one of these? All you gotta do is kill me. That's all you need to do. And she had him dead to rights, but she could not, you know, be the dice man. She could not, you know, she could not finish him, basically.
Right.
So, you know, he was doing this, whatever, and all of a sudden he just fell down and dead.
Right.
But yeah, again, Kano, it's just, you know, it's kind of funny to see him in these moments, you know, try to be a warrior. You know, he is the Black Dragon, apparently. He calls himself out later, you know, that he's well renowned for all that he's being wanted for in several countries.
Just could have passed the egg roll.
And that's exactly the thing I was about to go to next. It seems that Kung Lao could not conjure up the arcana through physical force, so he went from a different angle. And what was that?
Anger.
Yeah. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to fear. Fear leads to
Fear leads to lasers coming out of your freaking eyeball.
Lasers. All he had to do was pass the egg roll. Maybe that was his plan all along. It was his plan, was to not pass it. Well, he tore into him good. He called him a dog. He called him a failure.
A soft bunny.
Well, didn't Liu Kang call him that?
Liu Kang called him that, but it was Liu Kang got involved and he said, you should be on your knees to this man.
Uh-huh.
I got a freaking idea. How about both you boys get on your knees and take turns sucking my sack?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's so bad.
Yeah.
He's so bad, but so cool.
Oh yeah. No, it's those moments where the movie gets a little too much on the serious side, and then he pulls you right back to these funny lines that, you know, he was
forget.
Pissed. You know, pissed to the point where you start to see his pupils start to go a little red, and you're like, oh, there it is. You know, kind of interesting. You know, it's more biological in this movie than mechanical, like it was from the video games and such. But yeah, he gets the laser, and, you know, obviously they're still trying to get it out of Cole. They're trying to beat the living crap out of to get the arcana out of him. Like, even to the point where Kano is just like, I think I see something there. Like, here, let me hit you again or whatever. Let me hit you a little harder or whatever. He's like, nope, it was nothing. Never mind. I mean, he was getting ridden to a pulp or whatever, and I think Raiden kind of saw that wasn't the answer. Let me ask you this question. I've been meaning to ask you this after I saw this today. Did he know that sending him back would...
Who?
That Raiden giving Cole the opportunity. He didn't send him straight back. He just gave him, he's like, if you want to go home, go home. Go be with your family. He opens that teleport. Did he know that would set in motion a chain of events to eventually give him his Arcana? Spoiler.
I mean, that's a great question. I think so, simply because remember, he thanks Shang Tsung. Thank you for helping one of my warriors get his Arcana. So it's one of those things he may have already known.
Sure. Like, because he apparently was the prophecy due to his lineage with Hanzo.
And think about how old is Raiden.
Yeah, he's pretty old.
He's seen
That's an older
and
dude.
gone through all the people that have gained their Arcana and how they get it and who they are, who they're related to. So yeah. I'm pretty sure he did know.
Okay. Well, I mean, how did this happen? Shang Tsung, again, trying to cheat his way to a win. Trying to deflate that football just a little bit. And the prince? The Shokan. Yeah, Goro. Again, Goro. I still think that...
Who else did we meet first, though? We got to see a couple of new warriors in there.
Kintaro does not get much of a mention in these movies, but that's just me. Yes. Who else shows up?
Cabal, who's a badass, who was originally in Mortal Kombat 3 or 2? 3. He looks so different from 3, but to now. But it's good. It's all good. He's got those same weapons. I forgot what they're called.
Those hooked swords.
And then you've got General Reiko. I wasn't too familiar with him because I think he came up in the Deadly Alliance or something like that, or one of the newer-ish games. No.
Sure. To be honest, I didn't look too much up to do my homework on him. He looked like, okay, we just need a big brute because we need someone to match up with someone to be named later on.
And then you have Mitara.
Yep. Now she's in the video games. I've seen her.
Yes. And then you have Melina. She was there, and then Sub-Zero. And then you have Shang Tsung being the leader. Goro comes up. Prince Goro! I'm so glad to see Shao Kahn blood come in, or something like whatever he says. But you only see a shadow, and then you finally see him all of a sudden attacking Cole Young. And the reason, that's a good... I'm assuming they went ahead and still attacked him, even though he doesn't have an Arcana yet, because they probably know he's got blood, Scorpion blood, maybe, I don't know. And then he's got the birthmark, so he is a champion. Let's just get rid of him. Let's just kick his ass.
Well, again, he is the prophecy. That's the thing that Shang Tsung is trying to get rid of. That's why he sent Sub-Zero at the very beginning of this movie. That's why they tried to infiltrate the Raiden's temple, like in the middle of the movie. Again, he is trying to end Cole because he knows that Cole is the key, apparently. The fight with Goro and Cole initially looked like, okay, Goro is going to literally fulfill the little mural that we saw when the warriors entered Raiden's temple. They saw murals of these great champions, and the one was of Goro or one of his species ripping this guy completely in half.
Which happens in the video game, by the way.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, that's really,
so
really
many times
cool.
to me.
Oh my gosh. That's really, really good. But he takes it to Cole like really, really quickly, and Cole's trying to protect his family, his wife and his daughter, and they, the wife kind of like, she's like, I've had enough of this, takes the axe, takes it right to Goro's side, and Cole gets thrown.
That gotta hurt. I don't care how big you are.
Yeah.
I don't care how big you are. That gotta hurt. Oh my god.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, no, totally. But I think it was the fact that, like, it was the combination of him getting thrown aside and also the threat to his family that really awoken the arcana within him.
And where did he get such arcana? Where did it start? Where did it come from? I'll tell you, it came from his wristband that his daughter made him.
Yeah.
That wristband extends out and then wraps around his entire torso. You can see, it's matching the same color as Scorpion and also matching the color of that particular string that his daughter made for him. And I thought that was neat. That was cool.
That was cool.
There's a connection there.
Yeah, that was an interesting that's interesting body armor that he develops. It's very Black Panther-ish.
Very, very Black Panther-ish.
It has the ability to absorb impacts. Not in a Black Panther way. It's got the ability to conjure up. Once it has enough energy, it can conjure up weaponry. The nightstick and I don't even know what you want to call that blade. That looked awesome. It was like a nightstick blade. Yeah, there you go. Totally. But boy, once he had that at his ready, he even performs the uppercut, which was so awesome. I was like, I did a fist pump to that. But he takes it to town on Goro. And his
daughter told him to do it too.
This fight really showcased the okay, this is why it's rated R.
Oh gosh, yeah. Cuts his his
man,
butt open, breaks his elbow. By the way, when he does break his elbow, Goro pops it back in just to fight. But yeah, we find out that he gets stabbed quite a few places and cut open quite quickly.
He dissects him. He punctures that nightstick right through his right eye.
Right.
And that is the end of Goro, and it's so cool to see that kind of come into himself. Yes, he's got the skills, he's got the talent, but like Kung Lao said, it takes more than talent, especially when fighting these guys. And once he got the Arcana unleashed, this definitely put him over the top. And then he sees the lightning again. Raiden, knower of everything. He's like,
before that, we got Kung Lao.
Oh, that was before that, wasn't it?
Huh?
Oh, that was before that. Okay. Go ahead.
It was actually during.
Yeah, it's kind of
remember, he had you got Jax getting his ass whooped by General Reiko.
It was kind of intermingled with each other, yeah.
Was with Melina. Melina kicks her ass, cuts her right here in the shoulder.
Yeah.
Licks the blade, as you've seen in the trailers, and says, "You're not a champion. You're not a champion, blood. You're a wasted kill." Kano jumps in. "Oh, I'll take her. Girls can be so mean."
Man. He digs his thumb right into that open wound. God, man, some of that stuff that's visceral, man. That's craziness. Keep going.
And then you have Kung Lao using his fantastic hubcap hat. He's got it spinning. I was just like, no way, it's spinning in the ground. Well, he waits patiently because he knows how to fight.
Well, he tries to attack Shang Tsung first.
Right, he does. He throws the hat, and Shang Tsung just dodges it because he's Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung,
he can do whatever. He's a sorcerer. And Natara's flying around. "Come, my beauty." I think he had a thing for her. Maybe I just watched it so many times.
Probably.
So she flies down, and all of a sudden tricks her to fly a certain way, and then boom, splits in half. And what is the famous words Kung Lao says? Flawless victory.
Yep.
Because he didn't get hit. So.
Yep. He pretty much sliced and diced her.
He met her halfway. So.
Oh, good. That's good. There you go. Yeah.
He split the winnings.
Okay. That's one too many. That's. Yeah. Kung Lao takes out Natara. Sonya Blade, she's been taken out. Jax, Jax. Holy crap. I totally forgot about him. He kind of reappears in this universe. Sonya's in the back, and Jax is just kind of like laying on the table. This is all before these fight sequence starts, by the way.
Right.
And
Those coming man
He
size.
has no... Well, no, this is before. Like, it was weird to see him there without any arms, period. You know, he was just kind of, like, knocked out, and the sorcerers there are trying to look at, like, all these realms to see how they can fix him. I guess they found, like, the mechanical realm or whatever, and they...
The cyberpunk realm.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Threw you off, didn't I?
They fitted him with these new arms or whatever, and yeah, Kano just obviously just cuts him off at the knees, literally, with his comments.
Those come in adult size?
Yeah, they were kind of puny, man. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, even in during all that training, Jax is trying to get himself back into gear with these little minuscule looking arm things, trying to punch, you know, the wall or whatever.
Baby punching bags.
Yeah.
Little baby punching bags.
And even Sonya has to tell her, you know, tell him to sack up, basically, and, you know, get your head into gear and get your ass back out there. You know.
Get back out there, Major.
So yeah, he's been flung aside. Sonya's been flung aside. Cabal is having his way with Liu Kang, because, boy, Cabal's power. Well, I'll say less power, but more his speed is redonkulous.
Which is right for the game.
It is definitely on point with his game's abilities. I don't remember using that power as much, I guess.
Right.
Like, he's super fast in that game, and it's a lot of sword work, I guess, that I use, but I never used his abilities.
We were usually Liu Kang, not Cabal. Let's just be real.
Oh, sure. Like,
I knew how to fight with Liu Kang with his kicking and his fireballs and things of that nature. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Cabal was having his way with Liu Kang, and, you know, during this mess, Liu Kang kind of, you know, gets wrapped up with Cabal a little bit. Well, then we go back to Kung Lao. He's just dispatched the Nitara, you know. Mm-hmm. And Shang Tsung's kind of had enough of this. Like, I forget, does Cole come back during this time? Yeah, Cole comes back. And Raiden's like, you know, enough of this, you know, and he starts to teleport his guys out of there. And Shang Tsung tells Sub-Zero's like, no, you need to do something. Sub-Zero knocks, I don't know how he does this by this. He knocks Cole out of the teleporting lightning.
Or lightning, sorry.
Yeah. And obviously Kung Lao, you know, stays behind a little bit. But Shang Tsung, again, shows his power.
Mind.
Yep. And he completely surprises Kung Lao, takes him, and those famous words, you're right, your soul is mine. And gosh, like, I've seen it so many times in the video games. Oh yeah.
You know what Cabal says to Liu Kang? I like it when they do that scream. I was like,
right,
dang.
before he takes him, yeah.
Right before he takes him, I was like, wow. Liu Kang must be pissed.
And, like, I didn't know if you saw any of the, like, I had closed caption turned on because I just wanted to see some of the names, like, kind of escape me because it was just going by so fast. But Kano is screaming for Liu Kang during that mess. It's kind of sad.
Who is?
Not Kano. Kung Lao.
Cabal. Kung Lao. Sorry.
Kung Lao is screaming for Liu Kang during that mess. And it's really sad, you know, because it seems like they have this, like, brotherly, this cousin, this very familial relationship. And Liu Kang is powerless to stop that. Like, he's definitely a different Liu Kang in this movie than he was in the 1990s series. I don't know if you want to call it that. But, you know, Liu Kang is eventually warped out of there along with Cole. They're in this weird white zone, you know. The seventh Horcrux is crumbling off to the side. And, I mean, Liu Kang is distraught. He knows that Kung Lao was their mightiest. And they've literally been
Without him, we've lost.
Yeah.
Basically.
They've
And then Kung Lao says, not Kung Lao.
they literally
Liu Kang
lost
says we should
their
have killed.
they literally lost their DAC.
Oh, jeez.
Yep. Just saying. They don't have a red rifle.
Oh, yeah, red rifle didn't do too well. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Liu Kang. He says we were supposed to die together.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, yeah.
But then
Raiden's like, there's nothing I could have done, and even that's cool when Jax actually asked him, Lord Raiden, like the way he said it, like instead of saying Raiden, he says with respect, Lord Raiden, why didn't you help him? It's like that was pretty cool. After watching it 10 times, I was like, he shows respect by saying Lord Raiden instead of Raiden like Kano did, like, hey Gandalf, what's my power? What's my fortune cookie say?
His name is Jax, but we can call him Jacked now. Because he earned his Arcana by saving Sonya by lifting that huge hand that Kano sliced off one of the temple statues to try to crush them. And he somehow...
I guess you could say he needed a hand to get his power.
What? No!
What? Right? No, I'm being real. Think about it.
I'm thinking about it.
There's the boulder's made of a hand, right?
That's why
he needed a hand to get. Okay, all right, you got it.
Yeah, I got it.
No,
yeah, he he now has like the huge cybernetic, big bulking arms that are more attuned to his stature.
Man, I loved using him in Mortal Kombat 2. Man.
Well, in Mortal Kombat,
punching?
Mortal Kombat 2, he didn't even have his arms yet.
He did.
No, he didn't. Not in Mortal Kombat 2. In Mortal Kombat 3, he did.
Okay, you keep talking.
I promise. So yes, they're in that white limbo's area where Shang Tsung cannot get to them, and they're just like, they're kind of just they're at a loss.
3.
I told you.
What the hell was he doing in that game?
Again, so this is not a video games podcast, but whatever. In Mortal Kombat 2, the reason Jax is in that game is because Sonya and Kano were captured by Shao Kahn.
Oh, okay.
In that game, when you are fighting Kintaro in the Kintaro levels, Sonya and
he's in the back,
and Kano are both in the back, chained up.
That's
Jax
right.
is there to rescue them,
man.
or rescue her. But
he does have metal wristbands, though.
He does, yes, but he does not have his metal arms till Mortal Kombat 3. Back to it. It's Cole who comes up with the idea that says, hey, why don't we start bringing the fight to them? They keep coming at us. We need to bring the fight to them. He kind of becomes the, unspoken leader. He takes the leader moniker on, just kind of out of nowhere. Maybe it's just his newfound strength. Maybe it's the fact that he dissect the prince of the Shokan. God, that scene still. Oh my gosh, when his guts just spill out. Bleh.
Bleh.
And so they're all pretty much game. It's kind of funny how they kind of start matching up the people. Like the people who they got their ass whooped earlier, they're definitely going to take it to them later, except for Cole and Melina. So obviously he's asking each person, like, hey, Jax, like, you want to go after so and so and so. So it's like, no, give me a General Rico. Like I owe him one.
I got a score to settle.
There you go. So again, with Raiden's ability, and I forget this, like his ability is not just tied to his own people. He can do it to anybody. So he literally starts transporting people to different arenas or whatever, or settings, and they have their little fights together. The General and Jax are matched up. You have
General Rico.
You have Sonya, who definitely owes one to Kano. Initially, it was going to be Melina, but for some reason she
Please give me the bitch with the bad teeth.
Yeah.
That's what she says.
Yeah. But Cole actually, stepped in and said, hey, I think you owe Kano one. And after they're all matched up, obviously Cabal is matched up with Liu Kang from earlier. Liu Kang wants to definitely strike vengeance for Kung Lao. And they're all asking about Sub-Zero. Well, Cole makes some reference to Sub-Zero to say, hey, we'll take care of Sub-Zero, but, he's really too powerful. We'll take care of him all together. Which, remember that. So they all have their battles. The battles were really, really cool in a way, but to me, I guess, they were they were a little too fast for my taste. I don't know. Like, that was maybe just like the one part. Like, they were really, really awesome to watch. I just really wish they were like a little bit longer, like maybe a minute longer for each person. Well, I can't say enough about what Jax does to Reiko. Like, oh my gosh, that fatality is so juicy and so good and so much like its video game comparison. Well, he just like takes both his arms, just blah.
Yeah, these motherfuckers work.
Yep, that was great. Oh, that was perfect. I mean, speak on the fights. What did you think? Am I a little too far with that? Am I looking too into it a little bit?
Well, I mean, I felt like they were short too, but according to the director, he did not want to make it a video game movie. He wanted to make it a movie. But everything was such fan service the entire time with the fatalities, with the lines everyone's saying. I mean, why not make the fights a little bit longer? But yeah, he didn't do that.
Okay.
It was too quick on some of these fights for sure. It wasn't really any fighting. It was just a couple moves here and there. The real fighting was coming from the one guy who's not even a character from the games.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe that was the thing, is like I wanted to see more from the characters who were from the games. We saw their powers, and like I'm not going to shortchange the fight between Cabal and Liu Kang. Yes, that was really, really short, but when it came to its crescendo at the very end, well,
before the crescendo happened, he did the kicking.
I
was like, yes, he did the mid-air kicking.
Yeah, he did the bicycle kick, or it's not a bicycle kick, but the bicycle kick is the move. It's not a soccer bicycle kick, trying to clarify that. But yeah, he does that awesome bicycle kick where you go, I can't even pronounce that. Introduced in Mortal Kombat 2? Yeah. And he gets thrown into this muck. Like, I don't even know what you want to call that. Whatever. Cabal's down there, and you see, the fire from within Liu Kang, and he's just like, this is, you could see in his eyes that this is going to be for Kung Lao. This is literally what I'm about to do for Kung Lao. And you see the fire dragon. So good.
Just like the game.
Just loved like the game almost.
Yeah, but the director said, "Yeah, this is not a video game movie." I'm like, "Bullshit!"
I know, right?
Everything you should do.
I'm like, this is everything short of it saying "finish him" on the screen.
Right, and then the freaking life bars at the top.
And then all of a sudden, like, you see him kind of move back and forth a little bit as the person's, hitting the right button sequence. And yes, the flame dragon comes out of nowhere from out of the ground.
Looking through their Nintendo Power to make sure they got it right.
He comes out from under the ground and just chomps him right in half, and just he turns into nothingness, which is great. Oh, so good.
Cabal became kaput.
Nice. Yep. There you go. I like that. Love it. Oh. And with those two, again, fights, the crescendo was really, really awesome, really, really badass. It kind of gave the Cole Melina fight. It took away from
who comes
it, to be
in
honest.
to help?
No, she does. Yeah, she does definitely come in, but before we go into her really, really quick, I just want to say that the matchups, to me, are what made the fights. Each person kind of had a stake. Each person kind of had this weird revenge factor. And that's what kind of leads me into the Kano-Sonya fight. Both of them had a kind of a stake in this. Kano had been captured by Sonya and been basically imprisoned and kidnapped for the longest time. So he owed her one. And obviously Sonya on the other side as well.
Say no.
Had a lot at stake in why she wanted, or why Cole had picked her to go after Kano.
Well, Sonya owed him $3 million too. So.
He even says that you owe me $3 million. Man, the way that fight started, it was funny because the first time I watched this, I must have missed the first part because it cut literally. I guess the first thing that I remember from it before rewatching it again today was the fact that she had snuck away, and then there was this crack in the ground where he lasered it. I didn't realize that she went completely full stealth by doing that exact tactic over and over again in the dark, of this trailer home. That's where Raiden had teleported them. And it was really, of all the fights, this one probably, wasn't the prettiest one, but it definitely was the most visceral. You saw those two throwing each other through walls, they were in close combat all the time because, there's no room to maneuver at all. It was more of a brawl than an actual martial arts fight.
Yeah, there were more brawlers anyway. During when I remember fighting with them, I didn't really ever pick, to be honest, when I played the game, I didn't ever pick Sonya or Kano, but I remember when fighing them, they're more brawling than actual martial arts.
They were definitely down, through the later stages of when we had that game together. It was definitely one of those okay, I've never played with this person. Let's try them out. I've not seen the fatality or the animalities from these people. Right. Let's just try it out or whatever, just to say that I did.
Right.
I agree with you there, but yeah, Kano has her in a chokehold and has her, almost dead to rights. But something happens.
She pulls that little gnome that Kano happened to spit on perfectly on the hand, and that gnome has that face with the hand out, which is funny. He spits on it earlier in the movie. That same hand that has, I guess, the finger or whatever. She pulls it and stabs him right through the same eye he got his laser eye.
Mm-hmm.
And before that happens, Kid is like, "Yeah, baby, how does that feel? How does that fucking feel?" And stabs him in the eye. She says, "Feels great."
Yep.
Yeah, that was great. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Of course, the fights could have been longer, but that one was actually, I think, a good length, just because they had a little trailer to fight in. It was more brawling.
Oh yeah, no, that was the longest fight.
But they did fight before in the desert too, so I feel like they had more fighting involved with just those two characters between each other versus your Jacks and Generacos and all that stuff. So.
And then you see her get her little tattoo, not her,
right,
or the birthmark or whatever you want to call that
marker,
thing,
or the dragon.
Yeah, the little emblem
Mortal
appears
Kombat
on her
the
arm.
NK dragon.
And so, she's happy. It's kind of she's like, oh, yes, I'm finally now, I feel acceptance from this or whatever. So we segue over to the final, fight that was...
Before we segue to the final fight, another Capcom game. This isn't a Capcom game, this is a Acclaim game. What the hell am I saying? Anyway, with the dragon, whatever, I think tattoo parlors are going to fill up getting that tattoo on people. Just have a feeling.
We'll see.
It looks good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If people haven't had Mortal Kombat tattoos before,
they definitely will now.
I was gonna say there could be definitely a resurgence into that. But yeah, so they segue over to Liu Kang
Thank you
and
for the
Melina.
follow through indigenous eyes.
Through indigenous eyes. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, so they fight each other. They are fighting each other. Boy, she is using her teleporting kicks, which again, I use that on you a lot. With no abandonment whatsoever in this
Melina.
in this movie. Yes, Melina. Did I say somebody else? Or
No.
Did you say she? Yeah, Melina. She. And she is very... What can I say about her? She gets very feral in this fight, to be honest. Like, it's kind of... I think she gets really, really frustrated by the fact that she's just not taking this noob out, basically. And, you know, through his talents and through his skills and through his baton, he's able to fight her off. You know, now she's gone from just like using her size to like straight out biting with those mandible jaws that she has. But I'm trying to remember how it all ends. Tell me how it all ends, brother. You've seen this 10 times.
Come on. So she gets kicked back or whatever, and all of a sudden Sonya Blade comes out. She gets teleported into that particular area where they're fighting, and all of a sudden she shoots the rings or whatever, the purple rings that come out of her arms. It goes right through Melina, and you can see right through it. You can only see her spine.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow, rated R, huh? I'm reminded. I'm definitely reminded every time a fatality happens.
Yeah,
let's be real. Like, throughout the movie, I mean, the cursing reminds us, but when we see that fatality, we're reminded that this is a rated R movie.
Yeah.
This is a rated M game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. I mean, what we were kind of robbed from the first movie was the visceral stuff like this. You know, they obviously wanted to open it up to a much larger audience, but in this case, they were just, you know, they wanted to go back to their tried and true roots, and they did it, and it was awesome. It's awesome. It's all awesome to watch. Well, after these fights, you know, we come to the crescendo where like there's only one person left. Well, we segue over to the wife and the daughter. They're just like, we need to get out of here. You know, I know Cole will find us wherever we end up. And lo and behold, Sub-Zero shows up. You know, the window frosts over, and et cetera, et cetera. It's interesting that both times the freezing of families occurs, it's kind of done off screen, which I find interesting. They've gone so far as to being able to behead a person, impale them through an eye, slice and dice their guts out. You see spinal columns, you see exploding heads, but I guess the idea of freezing a mom and a kid is a little out of bounds.
It's supposed to be more horrific because it's all of a sudden. You see this room of cold and dark, and all of a sudden you see just the face of a cold, almost dead family member that you loved dearly. It's supposed to be like a horror movie type of feel. Yeah. You know?
I just find that a weird, not a weird, but an interesting choice by, I guess, the direction of the movie to leave that, you know, to the imagination, basically, which can actually be more horrific when you think about it. That you're not seeing it, so your imagination can go in all sorts of directions. How
the first
this
one,
could be
I
happening?
See that, bro.
Oh no. Well, yeah.
Oh, man.
No, we are both fathers of sons here, and yeah, that hits a little too close to home for us. So yeah, no, I totally get you there. I just thought that was an interesting choice by the direction in this movie to again leave that to the imagination. But yeah, Cole. So Cole, they're done fighting, and all of a sudden Sub-Zero kind of like does his warp in thing. He shows the little the bracelet that his daughter had basically had, and it crumbles to ice, and Cole is not having it, so he jumps back into the portal with him, and shows up at his gym. It's at his gym, right?
Yes, that is the gym where he fights for $200 a fight. Yeah.
Yeah. And, his wife and daughter are frozen, I presume them dead, to be honest. I was like, okay, they're gone. And so now we're going to have Cole get super, super upset, and he's going to get raged on, and he's going to have to take on Sub-Zero himself. And again, this is me, the first time I watched this. And I was like, okay, Cole, where is this part that I have seen so many times in the trailers? Where does he, does Cole turn into Sub-Zero? Which I'm like, this had been... thank you. Into Scorpion. Yes. Does Cole turn into Scorpion at this point? Because at this point in juncture, Cole has always been this extra character that had never been referenced to ever in any Mortal Kombat game. So that was my presumption going into this. That he was going to find this brand new Arcana or whatever that was going to go into a much larger level. I did not realize, obviously Cole is tangoing with Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero is, going to best Cole, even though Cole is doing his damnedest, with his fighting abilities, his nightsticks, his blade stick, etc. And in the middle of the fight, you see that Sub-Zero notices that he has the Hanzo sword, or the Hanzo blade, or whatever. And there's this glow, and I'm like, okay, this is the part where all of a sudden it glows and he's going to turn into it or whatever, yada, yada, yada. And then he grabs him. He's about to stab him, if I'm right. And
yes,
this blade appears right through his bicep, basically. And I'm like, where did that come from? And you see...
the famous words.
You see Hanzo Hasashi, again, alive and well. Well, alive and well. And those famous words, "Get over here."
The only time he speaks
good. English. Yeah, that is the only time. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. And so we now see that, obviously Hanzo, he's talking Japanese, and Bihan somehow, can translate that. But he tells him, he's like, you killed me, but, you thought I was going to be in hell, but I've mastered the flame now, and I am now Scorpion. And I'm throwing this all out of whack, but I am just so jacked that he was in this. Can I say one thing before we go into this grand battle? I have always been under the perception that Sub-Zero was the good guy in the Mortal Kombat lore, and Scorpion was the bad guy of the two. You know what I mean? Is that just me, or...
Right, because blue is light, right? And then
you
have fire, which is
maybe it's
light.
Also the fact that the original movie, made them both bad guys, and then obviously as things went along, you kind of learned that first Sub-Zero, he had a different brother who was the other Sub-Zero with the red scar on his face.
Right. Mortal Kombat 3.
Yeah, and so, God, the Mortal Kombat lore is about as convoluted as you can get. But going back to the movie, going back to Mortal Kombat.
The
Get
MKMU.
Over here. Yes, the MKMU.
Mortal Kombat movie universe.
They go into fighting, and man, I was so glad to see these two really, really get at each other. I mean, they were toe to toe. I mean, to be honest, there were moments where I was like, wait, Scorpion came back and he's gonna get owned again. Yeah, I'm like, that can't happen, right? But apparently Sub-Zero is not one to be reckoned with. And so all this time you see kind of Scorpion and Sub-Zero just kind of wailing away at each other. Well, the other side of this coin, Cole hasn't gone away. He's trying to bust his family out of the ice. And they kind of get trapped in that little arena.
Octagon.
Yeah, the octagon, basically. The frozen octagon. And kind of go on about this part of the fight. I gotta take a swig.
So Sub-Zero sees Cole trying to get him out, so he gets involved and try to stop him from doing that. Continuing the fight, but then all of a sudden you see them both in the frozen octagon, both of them fighting against Sub-Zero, and Sub-Zero is no joke. He can still hold his own, but then eventually he is taken down, slowly but surely, and I love how he's taken down. He eventually he gets beaten up so bad he's bleeding from his mouth, and did you see? I've seen it 10 times, but did you see how nasty that blood can be? Like the way it was hanging with the snot and stuff. Like just that going into that tiny bit of detail.
It's cold-blooded.
It's cold-blooded. It was kind of frozen too. Now,
well, you know what got me is
he
that
just basically said, "Finish me." You
know what got me is that Cole is the one who really put him in that predicament. He kind of conjured, himself up a little bit after, God, was it Hanzo that got caught up in the ice? And he obviously conjured up this huge kind of flame wave that melted everything. But at the same time, it revived his great granddaughters or whatever. I don't know what you call them, but his wife and his daughter, apparently were still alive, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it was Cole who kind of went to town on Sub-Zero at this point in juncture and delivered this huge stab right into his chest. And that's what left him, like you said, taking off his own mask and looking completely just brutalized and beaten. And I think
he's on his knees.
Before he's on his knees, I think Scorpion tells Cole, he's like, "Let me take care of this."
Yes, actually, before that, Scorpion actually gets out of that ice, like you said, and he takes his, get over here thing.
His
takes
spear.
Him, right, sure. But hold on, wait a minute. Cole hits him one more time, and he goes flying. Get over here, throws him down with the spear chain thing, and then he's finished basically.
Yeah.
And then he says, "Let me finish this. Let me take care of it."
Yeah.
And then he learns. In hell, he learns how to control the fire.
Yeah.
And then he does his famous finishing move, fatality, where and I like the fact that they showed a little bit of skull, when he did the fire.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you notice his skin went away?
Yes.
I thought that was really good. It wasn't his entire skull like it was in the original Mortal Kombat or in the game.
Yeah.
But I appreciate them showing how that worked. And he melts him away. And he just burns the crap out of him.
He burns the crap out of him, but he's still kind of in a whole piece, which we'll talk about in a second. But yeah,
burnt toast.
Cole and Scorpion defeat Sub-Zero. I found it kind of funny because at this point in juncture, it was kind of weird to see Scorpion. He would take off his mask and then he'd put it back on, and then he'd take it back off because he needed to say something, and he'd put it back on. Just like there was a lot of back and forth between that.
Right.
But he was basically thanking Cole for basically freeing him and releasing him or whatever. And
in Japanese.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, if you're great ancestor of someone, you can understand them. I bet we can understand our Filipino ancestors. So yeah.
The guy doesn't sound like he speaks a lick of Japanese.
MKMU rules, whatever. Anyway.
Oh, geez.
So he vanishes by the wayside. His duty is done here. Raiden, shows up and. He's like, not bad. He basically gives him the attaboy and the big old pat on the back. And Shang Tsung comes around. He's so
Before he does, Liu Kang shows off his fire. Let me warm you up. Then also it shows Cole Young break into his locker, even though it's frozen shut, gets that towel.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's interesting. You remember that.
Yeah. All the good guys are, are back together and such. Like they're having their victory lap or whatever. And then Shang Tsung shows up, he's like, you've beaten all my warriors, yada, yada, yada. He's so very Lao in this point in juncture. He's very, that little sniveling financial guy from Dark Knight at this point.
Right.
He's like, you may have beat my wars, but I'm going to come back with a whole army and I'm going to kick y'all's butts into the nether realm, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, Earth is going to be blah, blah, blah. And Kratos like,
I'm guessing it'll be an army of Barakas, by the way.
Maybe. I mean, army of Barakas, army of katanas, whatever. But,
Reptiles.
Raiden's had enough. He's like, whatever, Earth is saved. You can go away now. He teleports him out of here. He's like, well, that guy talks too much. And, yeah. I was really, really surprised by this ending. Because you had the battle of the characters. Sub-Zero was treated as the big baddie in this, I guess the mid-boss in this.
Right. Uh-oh.
And as I was saying before...
What's up,
Sturm? Oh no. Did I ruin this for you? I already saw this movie and missed the cast.
Oh, well...
It goes, brother. No, so yeah, we've gone to the part where right before Shang Tsung gets taken away by Raiden, he's like, listen, death is only one part of life. It's another way. And you see this black smoke kind of envelop.
Death is another portal is the exact quote.
Thank you. And this black smoke envelops Sub-Zero and envelops Prince Goro. So they're still kind of on the roster, I believe. We will see if, the MK
That was just round
universe, 1. Isn't this supposed to be a 3 or 4? Oh, really? That would be cool.
Yeah, no, it is. No, it is. What's his name? Something Louis Tan, I think. Cole Young, the actor. He signed for 3 movies. So.
Well, there you go. That's going to be rad to see how they can venture forth, see if they can extend.
Sturm, it's going to be called the MKMU, the Mortal Kombat movie universe. Yes, sir.
Sturm, I agree with you, man. Like, seeing that's what we were discussing earlier, is that they're trying to focus a lot on Cole. So a lot of the side characters kind of had side roles in this. Going forward in the franchise, I think that they're going to expand on these guys. Obviously Liu Kang had lost Kung Lao. He seemed like he was under Kung Lao's shadow this entire time. Yes, they were cousins, but Kung Lao was the greater of the two. Now that Liu Kang is kind of standing in on his own 2 feet, he will definitely, showcase a little more than he was previously done so. Again,
their next A-lister Sturm will be Johnny Cage, though, so you'll be fine.
Do you? Okay.
He may be dead. Johnny Cage will be.
Before we go into how we rate this movie, who do you want as Johnny Cage? I already have one person in mind, man.
Oh man, I mean, he's got to sound cocky and stuff, right? So,
yeah.
Man, I don't know. He's just
like Deadpool.
He better be. Huh?
Like Deadpool cocky?
Really? You really want Ryan Reynolds to be Johnny Cage? I was thinking that too, but I don't know.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I would rather, in this particular case, have a no one come in there and just be his own new character, rather than have it showcased or whatever. But someone of the likes of Ryan Reynolds would do wonders in that role. I'd have to look up who Scott Adkins is.
Canadian actor, maybe?
Another Canadian actor. Yes, the Canadian actors.
Oh, okay. Yep. He is. He was in Boyka. He was in Avengement, Undisputed 2, some B movies.
Anyway,
D&D movies.
we won't go to that's just like my quick thought on that. Yes, they did show kind of like a little mini tease at the very end of the movie. Cole gave up being, a $200 a fight guy. He says he's going to Hollywood, just to he's following a new career, whatever. And you see them like kind of like tease this movie poster, and it's got Johnny Cage over and over and over and over again. Who is that?
James Marsden. Who is James Marsden?
That would be cool. Cyclops?
Yep. I think that'd be pretty cool too. And then I'm just looking at Google. The number one is who you said, Ryan Reynolds.
I mean, they should get the OG from MK.
Oh, this is where you fall down.
Those are $500 glasses, asshole.
Shit. Man, he's so good. It was great.
No, that was great, man. All right, so what do we think? What do we give in this movie? What grade? What we got? What you got?
I always seem to give everything an 8 just because I don't want to be mean, and I really do like the movie.
Sure. Well, I mean, here's the thing. We haven't come across a bad movie yet. 4 out of 5 bags of popcorn. I like that. We might.
I like that a lot.
We might steal that from you, by the way, if that's okay.
Sturm, can we use that?
Yeah, we might take that from you if that's okay. Dude,
it's not a movie of the year.
It's not.
It's not a terrible movie. I just love it. It's a movie I can go back and watch over and over again, like I've already done, by the way.
Yeah.
At
10
any
times.
point in time. I could go back and watch that over and over again. Kind of like Star Wars movies, Lord of the Ring movies. Shout out to Sturm on that. You know what I mean? I could go back and just watch it. It's a movie when it's on TNT.
It's
eventually.
not Return of the King. It's
on.
Return of the Jedi.
It's Return of the Jedi.
That was just for you, buddy.
Oh, yes.
Both are awesome movies. No, I would give this movie. I'd give it a 7.5. To be honest, I'll be brutally honest. Like you said, it is not a great movie. It's not. It's a good movie. It's got some parts where I'm like, I wish the fights were longer. I mean, that's just me or whatever. Even some of the stuff was like, oh, you could just give me just a little more of this fight, whatever. But I get, it's kind of weird to hear what the director is saying, what you had said regarding I want this to be a movie, not like a video game movie. But
and yet they did everything.
You did everything that the video game movie did, even better. Yeah. To be honest, it was as good as the video game had professed to be. But,
he thinks that shortening the fighting helped that, but it didn't. You did everything else perfect. The lines, the characters, how they looked, what they did, how they ended people's lives. Oh my gosh!
When you think about it, 2 minutes is not a long time when in the grand scope of things, but when you're talking about 2 minutes of two guys performing, ridiculous stunts, doing kung fu, eviscerating each other, that is actually a long time. And you add maybe 10 minutes to this movie's entirety. That's 2 minutes per fight. That's what I'm trying to kind of say in the back of my head. That would have put that over the top for me. Again, there were some moments. Again, there was a lot of stuff I loved about this. They were about as tried and true to the characters as any other previous Mortal Kombat movie. There's only been 2, whatever. Yes, Liu Kang was kind of more in the background. It's hard to say with that because, again, because of the movie in the 1990s, it put Liu Kang as the main protagonist. When you looked at it as a just straight video game at first, he really wasn't. He was just like a guy amongst 7.
He wants the OG announcer. The best one from the OG movie was Reptile, and that gives me goosebumps every time I see that scene. No,
I would love the original announcers and stuff like that. That's just it gives me all the feels from like being a teenager all over again. But yeah, that's what I'd give it. I'd give it a 7.5.
7.5. I gave it an 8, straight 8. You know, it's not crazy. It's not 9. It's not 7 being mean. It's 8 to me. Because I can watch that movie anytime, anywhere, on TV, stream it, anytime, anywhere.
Anytime, anywhere.
Anytime,
I know.
anywhere.
Like, so Godzilla's about to be gone tomorrow, so you better get your
I'm gonna have to watch
Godzilla
that
watch.
10 times.
You better get your Godzilla versus Kong on before it gets off the
You know
HBO
why?
Max.
You know why? Cheeto, you know why?
What?
We need Kong. All right, that's all.
Yes, we know we need Kong. And that,
You
my
know what else
friends-
too?
What's
Kong bows to nobody. Okay.
except to Godzilla. That is our movie review of Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna turn on the little siren. This is our spoiler ending. We love you too, Sturm Rage. And now we are coming to the part of the show where we go over the birthdays. Let me take a swig for a second.
All right, Sturm. Thanks so much, brother.
Once I'm back to work, I'll catch up on the cast of my commute. Hell, man. Yeah, thanks, man. Definitely.
Preach.
Appreciate that. Yes. For those of you who don't know, yes, Sturm is one of our awesome members on the chat. He listens to our podcast on the
Canada.
Canada, where
Canada.
he loves hockey. Yes. So birthdays this week. Again, I'm gonna start on the 25th. Boy, it seems like every week, like I can't not put people on this list. You know what I mean? Like I try to like
Well, the 25th is the
filter
beginning of
it
the
out.
week, so you're just going over all the birthdays for the
I
week.
know.
That's
Bye,
fine.
Sturm. I know, but I try to limit this because I'm like, I don't want this to be like a huge thing. But at the same time, like, I can't leave this person off. So anyway, April 25th, we have Al Pacino, who turned 81.
Al Pacino, huh?
Yep. Any given Sunday,
Wait a minute. Wait. How old?
81.
Oh my god. You know he played like a 40-something-year-old in Irishman? Oh, you haven't seen it yet, have you?
I know. Nope. I have not
that's
seen
such
it
a
yet.
good movie. You're gonna have to sit there for like 4 hours, but it's a good movie.
It's a long one that like this is I'm approaching it like kind of like I approached Wolf of Wall Street, where I know the movie is going to be 3.5 hours long, and I know that I'm gonna enjoy it nonetheless. I just need to find 3.5 hours somewhere in my day. Hank Azaria turns 57. He turned 57.
Mo Sizlak.
Mo Sizlak, and he is the cameraman from Godzilla. And the Frenchman. And he's on Friends. Talia Shire is 75.
Yo, Adrian.
There you go. Oh, who is she the mom of? Oh, yeah. She is the mom.
Godfather?
She was in Godfather. She was in Godfather. She was in Rocky. Like, you want to talk about two like ridiculous series that she was in. And she's also the mother of Jason Schwartzman from Rushmore and Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
The Schwartz?
No, not the Schwartz. Jason Lee turned 51.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
You know, I met him.
You did?
I saw him in a...
At Starbucks, right?
No. I met him in a sushi restaurant. He was eating with his family, and, like, I kept looking to my, like, left, you know. I'm sitting there, and I just kept looking. I'm like, I know that person. I'm like, who the hell is that person? And I looked on my phone, and I'm like, oh, my God, it's Jason Lee. Are you serious? And, like, it was one of those instances where, like, he's eating. I've never been the type to be like, okay, I'm going to interrupt your daily life just because I'm a fan. But this is one of those instances where I was like, okay, I need to say something just because I am a fan of his. I'm a big fan of his work. And I kind of cut in. I'm like, Mr. Lee, I just want to let you know I'm a huge fan of your work, and like I love all the movies that you've done. You are hilarious, and like I love like who you are and how everything you've done or whatever. And he's like in mid bite with like his mouth full of sushi. He's just like, as a
you did meet him then. Oh god.
And I was like, can I shake your hand? He's like, well, my hands are kind of messy right now, so I just gave him a dab, and I was like, yes. I dabbed Jason Lee. He's awesome.
You like him because of Clerks.
Clerks, Mallrats, obviously, like, gosh, any of the he's in most of the Kevin Smith movies, to be honest. He was also in I Am Earl.
My Name is Earl.
My Name is Earl, yeah. April 26th, we have Channing Tatum.
21 Jump Street, Magic Mike.
We have, yep. And he was going to be Gambit. God, he was going to be Gambit.
He still could be. He could do something.
Man, that's going to be the longest rumored.
He'd be a good Johnny Cage or a striker.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Breaking Bad, Mandalorian, 2 great series.
And he's going to be in the new
bad guy.
The new Far Cry game.
Far Cry 6. Mm-hmm.
And he was also in oh gosh, Do the Right Thing. You want to talk about his older movies? He was in Do the Right Thing.
Okay.
Better Call Saul, and he was also the detective in Usual Suspects. That discovered that he was he got the drawing basically. Kaiser Soze. Jordana Brewster turned 41. God, that makes me feel old.
Jordana? Who's that?
She is the loveliness of the Fast and Furious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's Dom's little sister.
Got it.
And how can we forget
the one?
April 26th, the one. But not the only, the one. Jet Li turned 58.
And he's aged a lot, though. Like, I haven't seen him in a long anything lately.
Was that his final movie?
The one? Oh, no. He was in other movies.
There was a movie. I remember, like, there was a movie.
He's in Mulan. The new one.
Oh, really? Because there was there was definitely a movie where like everyone was like, this is going to be my final movie, period. Da 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 da. And I guess he retired for a while before coming out with like the latest Mulan again. I don't know.
It was a 2006 Fearless, I believe.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, thank you. April 27th.
He was in Romeo Must Die.
Yes, that I don't care what people say. I love that movie. Put these nuts in your mouth, Anthony Anderson. April 27th, Jenna Coleman turned 35.
Who the heck is that?
She is from Doctor Who.
Oh.
And she is also the girl that was dating Bucky at the Stark Expo.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yep. That's a reach.
Yep. But
so she made herself in the MCU.
Yep. All right. But I knew her mostly from the new Doctor Who series. April 28th. Jessica Alba, boy, again, these are all aging me. Jessica Alba turned 40. Ugh. No, not Jessica
Invisible
Alba.
Woman from Fantastic Four.
Boy.
Dark Angel.
Her in Sin City. Man.
2005.
Yeah. And was it
16 years ago?
Was it Into the Blue with Paul Walker?
She has 3 daughters now.
I know, yeah. I thought she was a decent Invisible Woman.
Oh, yeah.
April 29th. That's today. Michelle Pfeiffer turned 63.
Catwoman.
She's Catwoman.
Scarface.
She was in Scarface. She was...
And she's in the MCU.
Yes, she is.
Hank Pym's wife.
Janet Van Dyne. Hell yes. Uma Thurman turned 51 today.
Kill Bill. Also, Poison Ivy.
Pulp Fiction. Oh, yeah. Totally Poison Ivy. But yeah, Pulp Fiction and Super Ex-Girlfriend. Have you seen that movie?
Mm-mm.
It's kind of underrated. Like, this guy has to break up with his girl for reasons, but she happens to be a superhero.
Oh, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
And there's some hilarious moments in that movie where, like, yeah, if your girlfriend happens to be, like, superhuman, you kind of are never going to get out of that, especially if she's really into you. So you better just kind of suck it up for the rest of your life. And the greatness of Jerry Seinfeld turned 67 today.
What's the deal? She's fat. What's the deal?
What's the deal with airline food? Yeah. Have you watched any of his? Oh, I guess you haven't because you don't really have Netflix, do you?
I have watched the Obama one. I've watched the Jamie Foxx one.
Are you talking about the Coffee with Celebrities?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic.
He also
Tracy
had
Morgan,
he also had
Eddie
a
Murphy.
new special come out about 2 years ago, or maybe it was last year. That's really good.
I watched a little bit of it. I didn't get to finish it, but yeah, he's still got it. He's still definitely got it.
Oh yeah.
Definitely his own genre for sure, like his own way. So.
Oh yeah. And finally, April 30th. I couldn't find anything for May 1st, but
and his show is still funny.
Oh
hilarious.
Gosh, yeah.
You'll never
totally
ever get old.
Jerry Seinfeld is one of the greatest.
Kramer.
April 30th, Kirsten Dunst turned 39. Is going to turn 39.
Spider-Man.
Yep. She was
chick that
Mary Jane.
Spider-Man upside down.
Yep. She was also the little girl in Interview with a Vampire.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Right.
And finally, last but not least, Johnny Galecki turned 46.
Man, I gotta look him up. I don't know the name.
Big Bang Theory.
Oh, okay.
He is
Roseanne.
Yep. He is Dave. No. Oh God, what's his name?
Leo?
No.
Wait, what?
In Roseanne? No.
Or Leonard, sorry.
Yeah, he is Leonard in Big Bang Theory.
Oh, he is the son in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
There you go. I was like, that's the one that I, mostly remember him from, to be honest. Yeah, Johnny Galecki turned 46.
He was Russ.
Russ. Oh man, he is still untangling those lights.
Yep.
Well, those are our birthdays for tonight that we've got for you guys. One final segment we've got before we end the show. We don't have a Who Said What segment today because, frankly, I wanted to kind of flip the script on you guys and
oh boy,
turn the tables on my brother who professes himself as a MK aficionado by watching this movie 10 times in the last week. I'm just kidding, he's not. But let's just check it out anyway. We're going to give him a little quiz show action.
I got that whole Jack's Arms thing way wrong, so I'm not.
Say it again.
I got that whole Jack's Arms wrong, completely wrong. MK2 and MK3.
Okay. So I'm just going to read off some questions, and you just basically see if you know the answer to them. They're going to range from like very easy to very hard. So I just have 3 words for you. Test your might. I actually had to take one off because you were reeling off some names during the review, and I was like, well, you already know the answers to these, so I'm just not even going to ask them for you. And here we go. Bihan speaks what language?
Chinese.
Specifically.
Mandarin? Wait, what?
That is correct. He speaks.
Oh, okay.
He speaks in Mandarin. It was like literally one captured moment where, yes, in the captions it says Chinese. He's speaking in Chinese, but there was
even
one...
Scorpion says, "I don't even know what you're saying."
Yeah,
kick your ass.
I know, right? Raiden is the god of what?
He uses lightning, but he's the god of thunder?
That is correct. 2 for 2. See, man? You got this. All right. Let's see a little more ambiguous one. Cole is the ancestor of Hanzo Hasashi, but claimed he was an orphan from where?
Oh, Chicago, South Chicago. Chicago.
You get an air horn for that one. Yeah, that was pretty good. Chicago.
Chicago. You're out of here.
Awesome. Okay, 3 for 3. All right, man. That was reaching for that one, to be honest. I was like, okay, maybe he won't know this one. Okay. Who is the grand champion of the Order of Light?
Kung Lao. The great Kung Lao?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
That is correct.
That is very correct. The great Kung Lao. What gives the characters their abilities?
The Arcana.
That's
Or
right.
they have the marking. Yeah,
That's
okay.
right. The Arcana. You're good, man. 5 for 5. Okay. What is the name of the reptilian assassin sent to kill Kano?
Reptile.
There is a specific name he's been given in the movie. I had to see it from.
In the caption?
Yes, in the captions.
Oh, I didn't watch the captions, so.
All right, I'm gonna give you a fart there. Well, when I first heard it, I thought he said Cybot for like noob Cybot, but I was like, okay, no, that can't be right. His name is Syzoth, Syzoth, Syzoth. Okay, that's one. Okay, you only missed one so far. That's not bad.
Yeah, but then you watched it in captions.
Come on. What kind of accent did Cole say Kano had?
Australian? Or English? Wait a minute. No, I have no idea.
No. He was playing with him. He said, is that a Russian accent?
Oh. Yeah, I remember now.
All right. How did Kano know where Raiden's temple was? Per Kano.
He has a relative that flies over all the time?
Okay, I'll give you that one. He
I
basically.
remember. They went for runs before.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. That's what we were looking for. He used to run guns through there. What is Jax's military rank?
Major.
That's right. I thought that was gonna trip you up a little bit. How much is Kano contracted to escort Sonya and Cole to the temple? And yet,
Sonya offers $2 million. Counter offers for $3 million.
$3 million and
anything I want in the Raiden's temple.
There you go.
I get to keep all that.
Yeah. What gives Kano the creeps?
Oh shoot! I have no freaking idea. Hold on.
You probably do.
Oh, gnomes.
Yes.
Right?
That's right. Bloody garden gnomes.
Bloody God, gnomes. Give me the creeps.
Right after he spits that loogie right on him.
Get stabbed in the eye by one too.
What order is Scorpion from?
The Asian order. I don't know.
No.
I have no freaking idea. Is it at the beginning that you see that?
It's said several times in the movie.
Oh shoot! I have no idea.
It's the.
That's a detail I don't pay attention to. Sorry.
Okay. All right. We'll mark that as a wrong. It's the Shirai Ryu. Well, what order is?
I've heard it, but I didn't pay attention.
Sure. What order is Sub-Zero from?
The Ken. Because you said Ryu with Scorpion, so I'll go with Ken and Sub-Zero.
Explosion, all that nastiness.
Akuma? Is it Akuma? No.
It's the Lin Kuei. All right, let's see.
See, I didn't pay attention to that stuff.
Okay, you get a point for every name Kano called Liu Kang.
MC Hammer. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you technically count Harry Potter. I don't want any of that Harry Potter shit.
I'll
all right,
count
Magic
that.
Mike.
Got
Hey,
that.
pussy.
Got that. There's 3 more.
Oh shoot! Hold on. Let me go through some.
Yeah, you got.
Hey, David Copperfield.
That's the one.
Oh man. Hold on. He calls him pussy.
You already got that one.
You anal bead. Hold on. You monk. He calls him a monk. How about a silent monk?
I think we're going to have to put explicit on this episode.
What was I gonna say?
You anal bead.
Yeah. He says he calls him that. He
No,
calls him
I know you're really close.
He says something about some sort of a. Oh my gosh, what is it? A yoga master something with the anal. Man, I've seen it so many times, and you think I remember that line?
I give up.
I was right though on the. I just said it earlier. Not the anal bead. What's the other thing? Oh my gosh! I said it earlier. I forgot.
Oh, that's.
I'm turning a blank here. I'm gonna really hate myself because I should know all of them. He calls them a whole bunch of freaking names.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay. He calls him princess.
Oh, princess. Oh,
And he calls him a cave-dwelling hippie.
oh, that's hippie. That's where I was going.
Yeah.
For hippie.
with the anal beads.
Yeah.
God. Okay. What is cold?
Not bad though, right?
No, that was pretty good. Actually, I thought I'd trick you up with the Harry Potter one. The David Copperfield was pretty straightforward.
No, actually, it wasn't. You couldn't really hear it. You gotta
Yeah,
remember that.
no, I mean he was basically talking about David. Don't give me any of this Harry Potter mess or whatever.
Yeah.
What is Cole's Arcana?
Like a body armor / creating his own weapon / anything he gets hit, he can use it back as force back to the enemy. So
Nice. That was pretty easy.
it comes from his base too. His daughter made him.
Which companion is Cole set to find at the end of the movie?
Johnny Cage.
That is very right. Now, the last question. Which one of these is not said or mentioned to in the movie? Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Test your might. Mortal Kombat. Fight. Brutality. Fatality. Finish them. Flawless victory. Get over here. Which one of these is not mentioned in the movie?
Fight. I mean, the word fight is used many times, obviously. But Sonya Blade did say Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
And then Finish Them was by Shang Tsung.
Mm-hmm.
Get over here, obviously, Scorpion says it, even in the trailer. And then, I'm trying to think of all the other ones you just said. Brutality, I didn't hear that. Fatality, I believe I heard that. I have Flawless Victory, obviously Kung Lao says it. I'm trying to think what the hell else he said. Did I pretty much go over all of them, or did I miss one?
And test your might.
Test your might. Kung Lao says it to Cole Young when they're about to start training. So I'm gonna go with fight or brutality.
Which one?
Fight. I don't remember ever hearing fight. Oh, actually no, I did hear fight because Liu Kang said it to freaking Kung Lao and Cole Young. So never mind, brutality.
That is correct.
I had to break it down. I had to replay the whole movie.
Boy,
10 times in my head real quick.
you want to talk about breaking it down? That was very breaking it down right there. Oh my gosh, I was like, oh my god, he's literally not easy. Just like you get bonus points to be honest for not just saying that it was in the movie, but also actually,
Who said it?
attributing it to the character. That was pretty good. And that is this week's Cheetos quiz show. I don't know. I'm gonna think of a drop for that maybe.
The CQS.
Yeah, man, that is our show for today. We gave our Mortal Kombat review of Mortal Kombat. And yeah, it was good. It wasn't like Oscar winning or whatever, but it's definitely a movie that you need to see. It's definitely a popcorn watching movie. If you like fights, if you like guts, if you like gore, this is definitely not to be missed. What do you think?
If you played the video game at any point in your life, this is a must-see.
Oh gosh, yeah. That's a definitely.
I don't care if you played MK11 only or you are old school like us. You played the originals. Please, you have to do yourself a favor and watch it. You'll enjoy it.
No, that's a definite sticking point there. Yeah, if you are a definite fan of this series, there are tons of Easter eggs that pay, the right tribute to this game in a ways that its predecessors never did. So yeah, it was really, really good. I really really enjoyed it. Again, I can enjoy a movie that's not like super ridiculously great on the grand scale of things, on my grading scale. But yeah, this was good. I really, really liked it. I was glad that I had access to it. Like, I'm starting to look forward to the days where we can like really, really put our review on movies that we see on like really, really big screens, because there is something that's missing in regards to like how we're watching them now on like, your phone or even like on your television set with the volume blasting as loud as it can possibly go. I can't wait for, those days to come, Oh, but yeah, man, that's it for today. It's kind of nice.
Kind of nice.
Next week, though, so we're at the end of April. We got some big to do next week, don't we?
As one boy band would say, it's gonna be May.
Oh, God. It is definitely going to be May, and it is going to be May the 4th when we do our next recording
On Tuesday.
Oh man, we got to put our heads together for this one, because this has got to be, pretty good. I've started a Google Doc. If you haven't checked that out yet, have I shared that with you?
Good old Star Wars.
Yeah, man, we're definitely going to the realm of Star Wars next week. I'm looking very, very much forward to that. Because, man, it's to be honest, it's been a while since I've watched like a Star Wars movie from stem to stern. I've seen scenes here and there, because they air them on TNT all the time, it seems like nowadays. But it's been a while since I've watched a Star Wars movie all the way through. And I still haven't seen Solo yet. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know what's stopping me from watching that movie, but
it's because it's not Harrison Ford.
I've heard so many mixed like reviews about it, and like I have to pick and choose my times, like, and like it's one of those things too where I'm kind of scared that if I watch it, it's gonna kind of like bring down the series as a whole a little bit in my mental pecking order.
I'll be real with you, it kind of does, but it is Star Wars. Good.
Well, hey, man, I love all things Star Wars. You know me, I've played all the Star Wars Lego games. I'm still waiting for this new one to come out this year. But
oh yeah,
have you gotten little one into Star Wars yet?
Yeah, he watched. Which one did he watch with me? He watched a little bit of.
He watched the end of New. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
He watched a little bit of that with me.
Cool.
He liked the droids, but he started doing something else like while I was watching it, but then he realized he wanted me to change the channel. Not in a bad way, just he wants to watch. Guess who? Thomas.
Hey,
he still wants to watch Thomas.
There is nothing wrong with Thomas, man.
No, of course not. But when you hear it all the time and see it all the time, you want to change up. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I put on Marvel, and then she gets mad because they're fighting.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Civil War, I think it's his favorite one.
That's definitely the tightrope that we walk. Is, you know, do we show this to our kids yet? Does he have to know what a blaster is? Does he need to know that Han shot first yet? I don't know.
Right. What is
I
that, a
don't know.
lightsaber?
I don't know. These are the questions we continue to ask ourselves, and we will continue to ask ourselves for next week. But man, we were at the end of our show for this week. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching us. Again, please like and subscribe and follow us. And check out that hashtag Movie Broview. Search for us on Google for all access to all our stuff. For my brother, Joshizzle2323, I am Charzar81, and this is the Movie Broview. Go pop some popcorn and watch a movie.
Movie Broview. Win.